Estoy, I don't know if you can hear. Um, I heard how somebody fought, and I identified their voices as Mama's and Rick's. What they fought about, I didn't hear, so I sneaked out to the hallway and looked down the stairs. He screamed about some money she didn't give him, and my mom cried and said that she didn't have any money. I didn't understand what money he talked about, or why Mom should give them to him. I mean, the fight became too much heated, and he threatened her. I saw how scared she was, but I couldn't manage to run down. He grabbed her hair and threw her back and forth in the room. She scratched him with her nails so hard that blood came out of the wounds. But he was much stronger and beat her more and more. I didn't dare to look, so I was so quiet as I could. I heard how they continued fighting. Then her angry screams became begging sounds. My mom became quiet, and he continued. He screamed that she was worthless and this was better. Then it was quiet, and he closed the door. Slammed the door. I was totally paralyzed, and I waited on my mom, so that she could see that I was still sleeping, but she never came. I was no. I was afraid. I became afraid and ran down the stairs, but she wasn't there. The the dirty stone floor was completely covered by blood and formed a trace into the kitchen. I started to feel sick, and I felt the puke up my throat, and my eyes were full of tears. I slowly walked towards the kitchen and entered. I still remember just how it looked. I I couldn't understand who could be so evil. It looked like a slaughterhouse, and the floor was a sea of blood. My mom was broken. She had been stabbed, and her intestines showed in certain places. The nastiest thing of all was her head. That was completely broken. He put it in the oven and slammed the door against it. She was almost unrecognizable. I remember how I removed mom and put her in my lap. I cried and I couldn't breathe because it was like my throat closed and everything started to spin around. Then everything became black and I don't remember nothing more. The following weeks were like covered in fog. I can barely remember nothing. My brother Andre was looking after me. After 2 months, I started in school again, or more correctly, I went there. It almost felt as if I was surrounded by a vacuum. I didn't hear or see what was happening around me. But um, but even though it was like that, I don't remember. No, I wasn't able to go there. The few days I went to school always ended with me running home. I remember how I laid at my mattress and cried day in and day out. Every morning when I woke up, I longed for the night so I could sleep again. I didn't see no reason. I didn't have no reason to go out. Everything I could do was pointless. So I realized that it would be as good to be dead. That would be easier also. Andre wouldn't have to support me, but it's because of him I live. Even though he had seemed to cope with mom's death quite well. Um, but I knew that he wouldn't manage if I did too. Died too. Without him, I would have been dead today. The only reason why I didn't shoot myself was because of him. When I think about it, it's strange, how you live for someone else, But many people do that. Look at every couple that love each other, you know? But, that's kind of logic still, because you have to have something to live for. And if your own life isn't important, you probably think that the one you love have an important life. But eventually, my pain was too big. I couldn't continue because it already felt as if I was dead. So it would be better if I died for real. So I took a razor and filled up our tub with water. The water was freezing because the hot water had been unconnected for many years. But I still lay down. The coldness numbed me, so I didn't feel anything when I put the doll on sharp razor um, against my wrist, only a longing to get released from my inner pain and become free, free. I saw the blood and I closed my eyes and started to relax. I open the fucking door. What are you doing? Andre said. Damn. He would ruin everything. I opened my eyes and I told him that I was killing myself and that I would appreciate if he could leave. And he screamed if I was stupid in my head. I then heard how the lock was turned and Andre ran in and pulled me out of the tub. Then he took off his shirt and tied it around my arm. I was so mad. I screamed at him. Why are you gonna ruin? Why are you ruining everything? You're ruining everything. Yeah. I screamed, crying almost. I saw how his tears were coming down his cheeks, but while he was hugging me as hard, so I almost couldn't get no air. My screaming was suffocated of tears, and eventually we both were bawling. Ever since that day, he promised me never to do it again, and I didn't want to. Not after I saw how upset he was. I didn't believe that I meant so much for him, not for anyone. To even consider suicide was so selfish. You ruin someone else's life in the process. But that I didn't even think about. I was kind of egoistic. So I decided that if I couldn't live for me, I would do it for him. that 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 event or whatever um, uh, still broke the wall between us because we couldn't talk before, but now we start to talk about anything from heaven to earth. And after a while, he let me in on a little secret that he was able to keep from me. It was when I asked how he could live even after mom died. He explained that he had something to live for, and her name was amphetamine. I was kind of shocked, but when I thought about it, all the pieces of the puzzle came together. Uh, I remember many times when Andre was awake for days and still wasn't tired. He escaped. No, he explained every good and bad thing about it. So it was clear for me. I understood um, that she must be amazing. His way of talking about her was so passionate. She had become his saving. No, she what saved him. And I started to think about if she could become mine. So one day, I sat there and took my first line. It stung. I must confess that I was very nervous, but Andre and his friends calmed me down. Yeah, then I was there waiting. So it was like in half an hour, and I didn't feel anything. I thought I didn't feel anything. He was talking about how Kimberly, one of them girlfriends, was close to death when she almost OD'd. And I started to talk about how you always have to be positive and that there is no problem as long as you don't consider things problems. So I kind of realized how positive I had become. All the problems were have gone out the window. Mm. And here I was, and everything was perfect. Everybody in the room looked at me and said that I was high, but I didn't feel the slightest away. I didn't feel the slightest gone, you know. Everything was completely normal. Uh, I didn't I didn't see bad things like, when uh, and I was totally aware and awake in my head. But in the evening when I went home, no, and when I went to the bed, I couldn't sleep. My eyes refused to close, so I stayed up all night and wrote. This is an actual um, script from my diary. Hey, what's up, diary? Today have been the best day in many years. I tried speed, uh, but it wasn't at all as I expected. I didn't become unaware, I didn't become dizzy, and I didn't become a junkie. I didn't think that I was high, but apparently I am, since I can't sleep. I don't want to sleep neither. I just want to live. One thing that was different was when I went home, then that girl in my school pass went by. She that's fat and fat. And I thought that she was so beautiful. It was almost as if I approached her and told her, but she disappeared around the corner. Yeah, yeah. Then I met Omarion. He is so fucking handsome. So I went to him and started to talk. It felt so right. I told him about everything that happened lately, about my suicide attempt and my mom's death, and I could have continued to talk for hours, but he said that he had to leave. Um, uh, so I hugged him really hard and ran away. I hope that I see him tomorrow. You know what? I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna stop being depressed because life is amazing and I could do anything I want with it. Uh, yeah, I also must say that I must tell everybody around me that how much they mean to me because I really love them. And now I can't sit here no more. I'm gonna clean the house and make it livable. No, something like that. Hakuna Matata, as Timon and Pumbaa in The Lion King would have said. See ya, peace. 21st of April. Hey, again. Now it's the morning. Now it's morning. And I haven't slept 1 second. I've been up all night and cleaned and done things. It feels so good to just finally do everything. I never saw or um, said this pretty. It's kind of livable, you know. I wonder where Andre is. He hasn't came home yet, but he's probably good. Tomorrow school starts, so I'm gonna go there and ask for Marian's number so that we could live happy in every day of our lives. I write more than have it nice. Smile, smile. I remember those days so well. It was like the wind in my life turned around. I had 100% absence. No, or maybe, I don't know. In school, I was there all the time. And my grades were A grade, you know. I continued to use speed kind of like every day. No, every third day, and then it was every day. Not because I had to, or because I was addicted, because I really didn't see any reason not to use it. It might seem strange, but it was just like taking a cup of coffee before you went to school. And I continued. I never saw any problems with it. And I learned that it was a difference in using and abusing, even when it comes to drugs. I realized that things that I earlier thought about drugs wasn't correct. So I started to question the propaganda spread in the schools. Um, I realized that it was just, I realized that it was really propaganda, you know, to make people not use it. Differently than from earlier when I thought it was fact. My newly discovered things, my newly discovered knowledges, well, no, made me question if anything that I was taught was true. So I decided to investigate, or yeah. The following months were filled of experimentation, and I had a blast. But it comes one day when you realize that you can't walk around and live in a fantasy world, and the reality strikes, or uh, and that happened for me too. This was the first time I really became tired of all the partying. Fucking shit. The 10th of June, fucking shit. I'm really depressed because yesterday I decided that I'm not going to take anything more ever again. It have been too much. It have become too much. I haven't been sober or whatever more than 2 days in a row in many months. It feels like a part of me is dead now. I don't know who I am because I am a junkie. That's how me and them around me see me. So without the drugs, what am I then? What am I then? But I can't manage to do it anymore. It's not fun. You don't get the same emotions. Fuck. It was a long time ago I was really high. Now I just get a disgusting, how do you say that? Like the day after, hungover, but with drugs, I don't know. Shit. It feels as if I say goodbye now to the biggest love of my life. I never ever felt as good, and it pains my heart when I think about never being able to get the same emotion again, or that I can't meet the love of my life again. But too bad, and thank God, can't continue. So now I stop, put a mark for my past life, and start to fight to become Asia again, the real Asia, whoever that is. Goodbye partying, goodbye funny times, goodbye crazy and yeah, crazy times. Goodbye the my own world and the best time of my life. Looking back on what I wrote, I know that was the first time, but not the last time. I decided to stop. The first day is kind of easy. Yeah. But the first day is kind of easy. Why? What made me say? Um, yeah. First day is kind of easy because then you feel so bad that you never want to expose yourself to it again. The following days also, because then you're so motivated, and even though you haven't taken anything, You feel high by being normal. But then comes the difficulties, when you see the real reality, all the debts, the fact that you don't have anything to eat, and that life is hard. You look back at how good you had it, and decide that you could have a reunion with the drug, and at least one time. And then you become in love again and start to do it more often again. So then you get stuck. One thing I've learned, and that an addiction isn't just physical, but the worst addiction is mental. Sometimes I think about it would have how it would have been if I never took anything. Because if you never felt an emotion, you can't miss it. But I'm not regretful. I became so much stronger. I've seen new worlds. I explored new paths to think, and 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 I've had something to live for the days that I just wanted to die. So I could say that the drug saved my life. Even though they have been a big part um, of the reason that I'm here now, I guess that my life went to hell. I turned 19, and all of a sudden he stood there. He that killed my mom. I can't explain the fear and anger that spread in my body. I was 19 and I peed myself. I wanted to run away, but I couldn't. I don't know what he did or what happened around us. The only thing I saw him was his disgusting, awful uh, face. Then he disappeared. I actually forgot about him, but now that I saw him, everything came back. All the emotions that had been frozen in my body, in the what did you say? In the inner part of a big iceberg. My anger exploded to small icy needles that flew around, in every direction. I realized what I had to do. I was gonna destroy his life, just as he destroyed mine and Andre's and Mom. So I I I looked at what he was doing nowadays, and it uh, turned out that he became greater and blah blah blah. He was some kind of boss for an escort firm. His life didn't seem different than anyone else's. He had crushed my mom's head in an oven and lived and continue to live completely normal and untouched, unshaken. For me, he was the devil personified, and um, I was gonna make his life as horrible as the place where he came from. I I thought about what I should do. And I decided to do the process as long as possible. I, and I sat down to write the first letter. Uh, dear, dear Rick, I wish that I could that you laid here beside me, and that I wish that you laid here beside me so I could smell your rotting body, because you've been there for a few days. I have cut you up. uh, but not so that you bleed to death, but just a little bit, not too deep. You look kind of funny. Your face is covered in black bubbles. Uh, that came from me putting a lighter on your face. And the more you do it, the more disgusting it looks, whatever. And God, you would scream so much, but I know that you would enjoy it deep down. I long for you. See you soon. Love to you from me, your own hooker. God, that felt good to write. I only wish that I could have seen his face when he read it. I continued to send him letters for 3 weeks. The last was without text, but covered in blood. But eventually, in the end, I couldn't wait again. I couldn't wait anymore. So I took my gun and went straight to his office and shot him in the head. They arrested me after just a few days, and now I'm here. I haven't ate a whole meal in weeks. I'm really scared. I know what's gonna happen. My life is in someone else's hands. The only safety I have is the letters I get from Andre. And today is Monday, and I just got a new one. Uh, my love, you know that I love you, and I will fix everything. You don't have to be scared about You don't have to be scared. I'm gonna get you from there. I'm gonna take you from there. I came up with a plan. Those bastards, they don't understand anything. I have talked to Sam, but he didn't wanna do it with me. But that don't matter, because even if I'm doing it myself, I will save you. I know that the remaining days is just a few, so I hurry up. I hurry. Don't worry. Big brother is coming. 500 million hugs. I don't know what he thought about, but I know what he is capable of. So I respond, love. What what uh, what are you up to? Please don't do so. Please don't end up in prison too. I love you. I want you to live. Please, no, nothing will be better. You know that yourself. There's nothing you could do. I'm not gonna pretend not to be scared because I am. I can't sleep. I feel helpless. I don't know what to do. But one thing I know, I don't want you to ruin your life in the same way I did. What you could do for me is to get my darling to come. Very many, nothing else. The the Babylon, they don't give a fuck about people suffering while the time goes away. No, while the time runs and the days disappear to never return. It's kind of ironical that it's not what the society warned me for that's killing me, but themselves and their opinions. Everybody just run around. No one stopped to think. They they walk around. No, they almost fall around in darkness. But although the lights are on, when will it happen? When will it change? The chances is burned. The chances are burned. Whatever. I guess that I must accept the end. Shit, how the fuck could this happen? They cannot decide over what's happening with my life. You have to come here Wednesday and Friday. And remember to bring her. It's lethal. It's deadly important. I love you forever, wherever I am. It's so nice that we have developed our own language because it doesn't matter who read the letters because nobody will understand. I can't wait till he come on Wednesday because then I get the choice. I told him to bring me more ecstasy. You don't know, but I've saved everything he left earlier. Now I have 20. Oh, I might write, no, I might tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna die. Yeah, they decided that. I'm gonna be barbecued because I removed some kind of some evil from this world. A threat for the society, I believe they said that I was. Some with severe mental disruptions that don't have any possibility to become better. I try to explain for them that I didn't mean anything serious with the letters and just wrote them to make him afraid. I also told him that he killed my mom, but to get them to understand the truth uh, is as hopeless as removing all the evil from this world. They didn't believe me. I'm just one of those crazy junkies. They don't care if they kill an innocent person. The only thing they care about is convicting someone for the crime. Uh, only if it's, anyway, very fun. I don't know. Only if it's someone important that has been exposed to a crime. I guess that Rick's life were more important than my mom's because they didn't care about her death or mine. I can't help my bitterness. Why am I the one that have to be exposed to, have to go through all of this? Why am I gonna die when I'm just 20? I wish that I always lived in that palace and never saw reality. Then I probably wouldn't have ended up here. I wrote this before I died. Any day now, it's time to move on. I wish I would have understood it earlier, been more curious and effective. But now it is like how it is. And I wanna I wanna turn a new chapter. New time, new battle. I'm ready to jump in the boat and row to the big beach. A place without worry, stress, or anxiety. A place where every day feels like a big party. Become tired of all this. I just want to feel good. The clock's call ring, and it's visitation time. And there he comes, my brother. He is so beautiful. I can't help but to cry. He don't know it, but this is the last time that I will meet him. I try to explain how much he means to me and that he must accept what's gonna happen, but he really don't want to. He showed me the plan that he came up with. It includes gas and guns and killing, whatever. I can't let him do that. He cares. That's because he don't care about what happening, what's gonna happen, what will happen to himself if just me get freed. That's why I don't tell him. I decided tonight's the night. I I don't want him to leave, but the visitation hour is over. I can't can't get grasp that this is the last time I will see him. He say that he's gonna take me out of here, get me out of here Monday. I hug him really hard. I can't do anything else but cry. I can't say anything. But just before he leave, I still tell him I love you. He smiles and say I love you too. Then the doors are closed and it feels as if someone stabs me in the heart. I have to kill myself. I refuse to die in the electric chair. Society have never been in my life, so why should they kill me? I don't understand what they're thinking. What gives them the right to decide what's gonna happen with my life? We all are born and get our own life. So I think that we should be able to do what we want with it. Think that the society thinks that they have the right to kill me. I would like to know where they got that right and if someone can take it from them. But that I will probably never find. No, that I will never find out. Because now I'm here with 10 ecstasy in my hand and 15 in my belly. I refuse to let them decide over my life, especially how it's gonna end. So I take a deep breath and swallow the remaining 10, 5, whatever. Yeah, now it's too late to change my mind. I can't understand that I actually did it. I don't know what to say. What do you say when you're waiting on death? The only thing I could think about is to pray, and that I do. Dear good God, my faith is in your hands now. I know that have made. I know that I have made mistakes in my life, stupid things, but I ask for your forgiveness because I know you're good. Please have mercy on me. I've done the best I could. I didn't see any other road, path to take. Shit, I could almost not continue writing. My heart is pounding as if I ran 3 miles. And I have shivers in my body. And I know what's happening. Thank you, Thank you anyway, because you let me experience this life, both good and bad. Thank you for letting me experience my mom, and thank you for giving me a brother. Thank you for making me feel love and joy and sorrow, uh, and appreciation, pain, shit. It has been um, thoughtful, but now I had enough. I want to come to you, and I will stand there with open arms and receive me. I have blue love. Prisoner 17534 have deceased, have died. Uh, the 1980. May God forgive her sins. Very good. That's good.